That's true.
That's funny. Oh, you're good. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Music Monday here at St. Paul's Church in Nantucket. I always have to think about that versus on
It
Nantucket.
can still be on. I feel like when it's an island, you can be on.
We're in Nantucket, right. Welcome. So this evening, in honor of Martin Luther King Day, primarily, we're going to do a number of spirituals that I think most everyone will be familiar with. A couple of different little arrangements. I'm going to play one thing on the organ, and I'll shift you over that way so you can kind of take the organ in when it's time. And then at the very last, I've got a special surprise, I guess you could say, which I'll explain a little bit later. So right now, the first one we're going to do is Deep River. Great. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to shift you over because I'm going to play an arrangement on the organ of Deep River. And let me see if I can do this without getting anybody overly nauseous. And here we go. I think you're a little bit crooked actually, but let's try to straighten it up a little bit. Okay. So this is Deep River. An arrangement for the organ. So another take on Deep River. So now, bear with me. We're going to go back. There we go. Okay. So now, we've got Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. I have to admit, I can remember as a kid actually, this was one of my favorite hymns, for some reason. I don't know, just always liked it. Okay, so let's figure out here what we're going to do. The next one, 'Tis me, O Lord, standing in the need of prayer. And I'm right there, so. We are going to do it.
Okay. Okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
So, definitely we're going to do it.
Yeah, right. That really is.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. One that perhaps isn't as well known as some, but this is a really good one. Okay. Now, this one, again, is going to be one, and let's do this, Jackie. Let's add one.
What else?
We're going to add a verse.
Okay, which one do you want to do?
Okay, so let's do overcome hand in hand.
Why don't I just...
What?
Why don't I just go through all of them?
No, that's too much. The whole world, we shall all be free.
I was just going to say that. That's
There we
one
go.
I liked the most.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Well, you want to add the whole wide world also,
No,
or no?
no.
Too much?
That'll be 5.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2,
4.
1,
Because we got
2,
brothers
3,
and sisters.
4, 5.
Yep.
5.
Yep. Sorry, folks. We're talking about we shall overcome. We shall overcome. So now here's a little bit of the surprise, I guess you could say, and a little bit of the backstory. So those of you who have been coming to St. Paul's when we could come to St. Paul's may remember George Young, who's a world-renowned jazz saxophone player. And a couple of summers ago, we got connected, he and Father Max particularly, and some other folks here. And he came to St. Paul's and participated in a church service and then did a concert with a jazz quartet, actually, I think trio or quartet. So that was a couple of summers ago. And then last summer before last would be now 2019, George was here again. He was here, he and his wife Cynthia have been coming here to Nantucket for a long time. And so he wrote some special things for our choir here at St. Paul's and participated a couple of different times in different services. Just a great guy, wonderful spirit, very just, someone told me once that one of the highest compliments that they could give someone was to call someone a real mensch. And that's what George is. It's Yiddish. It means Yiddish. A mensch. And he is just, it's like a good guy. And that's George. So, anyway, George reached out last week, actually, and he and I chatted, and George mentioned that he's in California, and he's watching right now, as a matter of fact, Facebook. He and Cynthia are watching, and he mentioned that he had been working on this hymn, and so I asked him if it would be okay if he sent along, because I'd love to, take a look at it and that kind of thing. So he and Cynthia are, being good as far as kind of locking down and all of those kind of things with the pandemic. And so George came across a poem by Dotlie Dugan Reed, and she lived from 1933 to 2016, so she hasn't been gone that long. But George really liked this poem, and it really spoke to him, as I think it will to you as well, just about during this period about, there's so much going on, and we've all, we're living it. I don't need to explain it to anyone. But here's the poem that really spoke to George. And let me pull it out of here so I can face the camera, if I can read it. I don't have my glasses. I'm going to have to put it over here for the light. So here's the poem. It's called A Day at a Time. And it goes like this. I don't wish to know tomorrow, for the trials of today are enough to keep me busy here on life's pathway. God, in all of his wisdom, could so easily see one day at a time was enough for me. No need to be anxious for what the future holds. God must prepare you as each day unfolds. So, Lord, I trust you. The future is all thine. Just help me to live one day at a time. So George sent me the hymn. And by cracky, we're going to do it right now. It's really neat. I love it. And I think George might say it's probably still a work in progress, because he says he keeps futzing around with it. But anyway, here we are. This is One Day at a Time by, can I say, St. Paul's own George Young. Thank you, George, and thank you all. Something that we can all live and learn a day at a time. Thanks all. Have a blessed evening.